Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today we will be doing a tarot reading for the disappearance of Kortne Stouffer. But before I begin, I would like to invite you to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button so that you'll get notified on my next upload. I'm uploading a new video every week and I'm offering a free tarot reading for all of my subscribers. So if you would like to have your reading with me, you can just send a message to my email or a direct message to my Instagram. All of the details will be in the description box below. Kortne Stouffer was born on April the 24th, 1991 to parents Wendy and Scott Stouffer. On the evening of July the 28th, 2012, Kortne was hosting a party at her apartment. At around 9:30 p.m., police showed up after a neighbor contacted them about the presence of alcohol at the gathering. Her boyfriend, Brad, was on probation at the time for driving under the influence of drugs and alcohol, and was taken into custody for violating his probation. Brad's arrest worried Kortne, who feared he'd been incarcerated for the remainder of his probation. She called her mother at 9:54 p.m. to express her concerns. Wendy asked if she wanted to come stay at her house, but Kortne declined the offer. After speaking with Wendy, Kortne contacted Cody Pruett. Eventually, the pair met up with Cody's friend Milton Rodriguez and another couple. They packed into Milton's car and traveled to Harrisburg. As the night went on, Kortne's anger, fueled by her drinking, continued to grow. She got into an argument with the couple. The commotion resulted in security asking Kortne to leave the establishment. While she was forced to leave, the rest of the group stayed behind. At around 2 a.m. on the morning of July the 29th, Kortne texted Cody and Milton to ask that they take her home. The group drove back, with Cody dropping Milton off at his residence before agreeing to drop off Kortne. Kortne and Cody arrived at her apartment at around 3 a.m. While walking up to the building, Kortne spotted her neighbors and got into an argument with them. This resulted in the police being called to the scene around 3:30 a.m. Upon seeing that everyone had been drinking, they asked them to return to their units and got to bed, while also threatening to make arrests should they be called back. According to Cody, he and Kortne entered her apartment at around 3:50 a.m. Approximately 10 minutes later, another neighbor heard loud banging coming from Kortne's unit, which led him to call the police back to the scene. However, when they arrived at 4:12 a.m., they found everything was quiet. One of the officers approached Kortne's door and knocked, but upon no one answering, assumed things had fizzled out. It was at this point that they left. The next day, she never showed up to the county fair that she and her brother were to attend with their grandfather, as was tradition. And when July the 30th came around, Wendy began to worry about her daughter's seemingly radio silence. She drove to Kortne's apartment. She then proceeded to the apartment, finding the door unlocked and the outside light on. Her purse and cell phone had been left behind, with the phone showing 18 missed calls. The television and the aircon had also been left on. By midday, Kortne's parents were fearing the worst. They contacted the police and were asked to come down to the station the next day to file a missing persons report. Missing posters featuring Kortne's image and description were put up across Palmyra. Kortne's disappearance made national headlines, and the Lebanon County District Attorney is still leading the investigation with assistance from the FBI. Given the circumstances, the case has been treated as a homicide since the start. And given the lack of evidence, no one has been ruled out as a suspect. Right, so let's just start with the reading. Alright, so from the first deck, we have the Hierophant, Three of Pentacles, the Devil, Ten of Cups, Six of Wands, Eight of Cups, Daughter of Pentacles, Nine of Wands, and Father of Cups. So I would like to start with the Devil card here. this really frightened me in a way. I think that this symbolizes what went down, that something terrible had happened to her. And because there's a Hierophant card here, I feel like it was done by someone close to her, because the key here represents a key to enter the house, or that someone was let in by the house owner. And the Three of Pentacles in the middle here, I feel that this shows a potential third party in this case. It could mean that someone else was given a key to her apartment, or that someone in her apartment was letting someone else into the apartment. So with the Three of Pentacles here being together, it's like a collaboration, but in a way that Kortne was letting someone else into her place, and this someone else let another person to access her apartment. And the fact that in the Devil's card here there's a pentacle, so I would say that this case potentially has more than one suspect. Alright, so the middle row here is showing us the timeline that night. It started out as the party that she was thrown in her house, and then because of the arrest that was made, she then proceeded to continue to find somewhere else to have some more fun. And then the Eight of Cups here is about them leaving the party or going back home. And all the cups here shows that they were intoxicated. So for some reason this timeline showed up here. I feel like it is significant to the case. Now move on to the Daughter of Pentacles here. This is Kortne's energy. The Father of Cups here is someone who is responsible for her disappearance. And in the middle of them, we have the Nine of Wands. I feel that this card shows that there was a struggle being endured. And in this case, I feel that this card is talking about a strangulation. So it could be like the cause of death, or it could also be like someone is choking her. So let's draw more cards to get my insight about this case. Alright, so from the second deck, we have King of Chalices, Knight of Chalices, Queen of Chalices, Seven of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, Ten of Swords, and Five of Swords. We have one repeating card, which is the Father of Cups and King of Chalices here. So like I said, this is the one who is responsible. But then from the second deck, we have more people's energy, which are the Knight of Chalices, Queen of Chalices, and Queen of Swords. But the thing with these three cards here, I don't feel like these are representing different people. Instead, it shows the energy of someone. So let me just put it all together first. Alright, so I think that these three explain how this person get to the point of being the one responsible for Kortne's disappearance. So let's start with the Knight of Chalices here. This shows that he was trying to have fun and wanted to see where this headed. I mean, at first when he was getting to know Kortne, it was for fun. It was something he didn't really commit to, or just like wanting to know how this relationship could go. And then the Queen of Chalices here is the energy of him that shows that after a while he was getting used to the situation, and I feel like he liked how it was better than he expected. So this could imply to the relationship between him and Kortne. And then the King of Chalices here shows that his energy then became dominant, and the fact that the energy is represented by cups or chalices, I feel like this shows how his feeling towards Kortne grew. And let's take a closer look at this card. We see that the King of Chalices here is like turning his back, so I feel like he was then turning his back against Kortne for some reason, probably because she rejected him, and because of that he became emotional and out of control, so it led to something horrible. Now move on to this Ten of Swords. I feel like sadly she has passed, and the fact that this card is on top of the Nine of Wands, so I feel like the strangulation could be the cause of that. Now let's rewind a little bit to the Nine of Swords here. So I feel like all these swords energy are connected to show us the timeline of what happened, what led to the Ten of Swords happening. So with the Nine of Swords here, I feel like this is the starting point. For me, this shows that someone was coming to her with the intention, probably money, or it could also be sexually, but maybe something else. And because of that, she became a target here. And then the Five of Swords indicates that they were arguing or fighting for sure. Despite her being intoxicated, I feel like she put up a fight. She tried to defend herself, but sadly she couldn't win the fight because we know what happened next is the Ten of Swords. And another thing that I picked up from the Five of Swords here is that I think that her body could have been mutilated. I'm sorry if I sound too gross at this point, but I just have to mention this because they tried to separate the body so that it's easy to dispose, or I don't know. I'm not a psychopath, but this happened in a lot of cases. And also we see here that we have Seven of Pentacles, which could also indicate that her body is being buried separately. So yeah, I see the connection between this and the Five of Swords. Now underneath this card we have Four of Pentacles. I'm not really sure what is this card trying to say. It's obviously that someone is withholding information about what really happened. But the pentacles on top of his head here makes me think that this person had been thinking about doing this, maybe not way back, but I think he saw the opportunity and he grabbed it. And the last card is the Queen of Swords. I believe that this is the energy from someone else. So this is the energy of the third party that I mentioned with the Three of Pentacles here. I feel that this is someone who helped dispose the body. With the Ten of Swords here, we can see that her body was brought or transported somewhere, and I feel like that was what happened. So the Queen of Swords here is like handling something, so I feel that this is the person who handled the body. Now the first shadow card is the Moon. This card represents that there are more to the story than we know, like many other cases. And I think that this is also about the timeline of the night up to the morning. I feel that there's something about the timeline that is off. And then the second shadow card is the Three of Swords. This clearly shows defeat, and also the fact that we have another three in this reading. I feel like this shows that there was a third party, definitely. Whether he or she was part of what happened, or the one that helped cover up what happened. Now the oracle cards are comfort, angel therapy, and moon cycles. So the comfort here, I feel like this is about where it happened. Well, I associate comfort with home, so I feel like this is telling us that whatever happened took place in her house. And we have another moon card. This means that not just we're missing some information, but I feel like more information will be coming out, and hopefully we'll be able to help the police solve this case and bring justice to her and her family. And the angel of therapy here, I feel like this is about someone who Kortne thought was reliable. She thought that this person would help her or that she could count on this person, but then this person ended up hurting her. This could also mean that the person who did this was someone who she ever helped, but definitely someone close to her. Alright, so that is all the reading for the disappearance of Kortne Stouffer. Once again, this is for entertainment purpose only, so I don't mean to offend anybody. I would like to hear your thoughts about this case too, so please share it in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next Unsolved Cases reading.